Hi, my name is Jennifer Simonton and I am your instructor for Math 112 section IN1 for the summer semester at SWIC. The purpose of this video is to walk you through some highlights of the syllabus and to show you how to navigate through Blackboard and to locate your assignments, lecture videos, etc. After watching it, if you have any questions whatsoever about anything at all, please don't hesitate to contact me for help. All right, so I'm going to switch over here to show you what you're going to see when you first log into Blackboard. All right, so this is the announcement screen. This is the announcement sent out to guide you through the video. Over here on the left side is your tab with all the important links. All right, so under the syllabus tab, if you click on that tab, then there's a file. But if you click on that file, that will download the syllabus that we're going to walk through here in just a second. All right, these other tabs over here, access code, we're going to talk about that as part of the syllabus. That's the how to access your code to help you to get signed up and registered in My Math Lab in order for you to access all of your homework assignments, tests, things like that. This is the link where every time that you want to go in to do work in My Math Lab, you will first come into Blackboard and then you're going to click on the link over here on the left that says My Math Lab. That will take you to the My Math Lab page. Course content, I'm going to go ahead and click on that right here. This is where you can find lecture videos and lecture notes for each section that we're going to cover. So this lecture notes folder contains the lecture notes. If you click on that, they're organized by what's on each test. So all the material for test 1 is in this folder. And then all of these files are just a PDF copy of my written out lecture notes for each section. If you go back to the course content and click on the lecture video folder, right, so videos for test 1, this link will take you to a YouTube video where you'll see the lecture note handout on the screen and you'll hear me going through explaining how to do every problem and all the definitions and things, all that information that comes out of that section. Okay, this is basically, if I were teaching this class face-to-face, what I would be doing in class each day. Okay, so you can watch the video. I would recommend that you, as you're watching the video, you're taking your own notes in a notebook. Just the act of writing things down, I think, helps people learn better. Or if that's not the way that you prefer to do it, you can just access the PDF copy of the notes and have that for reference. Okay, so either way. Okay, but the notes that I'm talking about in the videos are the same notes that are found in this folder. Okay, testing center information. If I click on that tab, it's going to give you a link to take you out to the website where you can find the testing center's hours and their location. We have a testing center on the Belleville campus and at the Granite City campus. Guidelines, meaning all the rules and requirements for utilizing the testing center, and then when you need to request your appointment to come and take your tests, this is how you can do that online. Or you can click on here and find their hours and location and just call them to set up an appointment as well. All right, the Success Center information tab is similar. The Success Center is a free tutoring center that we have on campus. Both the Testing Center and the Success Center are located in the Liberal Arts Building. Right, so this is the information on the SWIC website that tells you about what the Testing Center has to offer. This one, again, will give you their hours and where they're located. And this is just a PDF copy of explaining all the different things that they have. If you prefer online tutoring services, that's what the Scotty link is for. So if you click on Scotty and then you can click here, it'll walk you through how to access tutoring online through our Success Center. The My Grades tab, when you click on that, all the grades you do for all the homework assignments and tests are here. Okay, so as you do those in My Math Lab, it'll take a couple minutes after each of those are completed for the grades to transfer over here. Okay, but then you will see that right when you get over to this screen if you want to keep track of your grades. All right, so we are going to go back here to, if you were to click on that syllabus tab and open that file, okay, this is what you will find. All right, so this first section of the syllabus is just general information about the course. Again, my name, Jennifer Simonton. My email address is probably the most important thing here, just in terms of how to get in contact with me, is right here. I do have on-campus office hours this summer. I am teaching a face-to-face class on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoon, so I will be in my office, which is on the Belleville campus, main complex, room 2047, from 12 to 12:50 every Tuesday and Thursday. If those times are not convenient for you, just send me an email and we can set something else up if you'd like to meet in person, or we can set up a Teams meeting to meet virtually online. Okay? Let's see here. Email is, again, the best way to reach me quickly. I will respond to emails. I try to get responses out within 24 hours, although normally it's much, much faster. As soon as I see it and have time, depending on how long the response is, I will reply. All right, and I check that frequently. All right, also, you should be checking your SWIC email several times a week. Okay, that's how I will be communicating with you. All right, every week I will be sending out a check-in email, just kind of seeing, do you have any questions about anything, reminding you of upcoming assignments and things like that. All right, also, you remember when we were over in the Blackboard screen, there was a link for the testing center, okay? It's important to understand that although this class is online, proctored testing is a requirement for all the math classes at SWIC. So you must come to campus to take required tests in the final exam. Okay, we'll talk more about that when we get to pages 3 and 4. All right, course syllabus, prerequisites, objectives, you can read through those things on your own if you're interested. Those are just specific things that you're going to be learning throughout the semester. All right, here we are where it talks about textbook and course materials. You'll be required to sign up for my math lab. That includes everything you need for this course, including or using the access code provided in Blackboard. So you do not have, you've already purchased all that through your course fees. So when you go back into Blackboard, there's more instructions later in this handout on pages 7 and 8 that explain how to go through that, but there's a link to the access code in Blackboard. So don't email me saying, can you please send me the access code, okay? Because it's all talked about here in this video and explained later in the syllabus. All right, if you would like a physical copy of the book, like a hard copy, this is the book we're using. That's not required for you to purchase, okay? The ebook is part of what's contained in my math lab, and honestly, most people probably will never access the book just because it's not necessary. Everything that you'll need to know to get through the course successfully can be found within the homework assignments and the lecture videos. Calculator, I would recommend a TI-84 graphing calculator for this course. We will cover a few things that I will expect you to have the TI-84, or if you already have the 83 instead, that one would work fine also. Not having a graphing calculator for some things will put you at a time disadvantage for tests. Not necessarily so much on the first test, really that pops up more on the second 2 tests and on the final. But there are certain things that's going to save you a lot of time, and I will explain in the lecture videos how to utilize the calculator effectively for that, and just in general for other things where it may not be necessary, it is nice to have for convenience. Okay, so the recommendation is the TI-83 or the TI-84 if you have not, if you have to go out and buy one. Okay, you can use any calculator as long as it does not have a computer algebra system in it. All right, so you cannot, like if you have the Inspire, the regular Inspire is fine, but not the one with the CAS. TI-89, not allowed. Okay, so no CAS calculator, no cell phone as a calculator, okay, but anything else. All right, all coursework you're going to do in my math lab. Okay, this includes all homework, test reviews, and tests. All right, so tests, including the final, are taken at the SWIC testing center of your choice, either the one in Granite City or the one on the Belleville campus. All other assignments, the homework assignments, and then the reviews for the test are completed on your own. All right, although this course is online, okay, it is not self-paced, meaning that there are due dates for everything, and assignments not completed by the due date, there is a penalty for completing them late, or if it's a test or a test review, you may not complete them late. They must be done by the due date. Okay, and then at the end of the syllabus, there's a calendar that tells you when all those due dates are. Grade calculation, homework is worth 10% of your grade. The test reviews are worth 5% total, not per review, but all together. The tests are a total of 60%, and then the final exam is 25% of your grade. If you want to break it down by points, there's 500 total points possible to earn. 50 points of that comes from homework, The test reviews each of the regular tests. The review is worth 5 points, and for the final exam, it's worth 10. Each test itself is worth 100, and the final exam is worth 125. All right, so in order to navigate through the course, you'll be using both Blackboard and My Math Lab. All right, so before you begin, it is strongly suggested that you open, view, and take notes on the lecture videos in the course content tab, and then you can find your lecture notes in the lecture notes folder and the lecture videos in the lecture videos folder. Do not skip this step. Okay, this is like going to class. When you go to class and you take notes from the lecture, that's what the purpose of the videos is. All right, you have to find time to fit that into your schedule. Okay, we talked about where to find those a little bit earlier. All right, those are in Blackboard in the course content tab. All right, homework is assigned in My Math Lab, so to actually complete the homework that is worth points, you'll have to go into My Math Lab to do that. Okay, I'll show you what that's going to look like here in just a little bit. Homework is always set up as a learning tool, meaning you can try a problem unlimited number of times until it's right and still get full credit as long as it's done before the due date. Test reviews also set up as a homework assignment, however, you cannot complete them late. And there's a few features that you'll find in the homework assignments that are not available in the test reviews. View an example is one of those things, and there's a limit on how many times you can try a problem to up to 4 attempts instead of an unlimited number of attempts. You should be using your test reviews as a study guide for the test. In other words, every question that you will see on the actual test is contained somewhere in the test review. Test reviews are usually longer than a test, so there's some things in there that you won't see, but nothing on the test is not in the, so everything on a test is somewhere in the review. So if you've done the review and understand how to do those, you'll be prepared. All right, tests, there are 3 regular chapter tests. Each cover a couple chapters of material, and each is worth 100 points. Those are the ones you have to make an appointment and take those at a testing center. Once you get there, you have to have a photo ID. It does not have to be a SWIC ID, but it has to be an ID with your photo on it. You'll sit down at a computer, you'll log into Blackboard, find My Math Lab, click on the test you're going to be taking. A proctor will come over and enter the password for you, okay, and then once you click start, you get 75 minutes to complete it. Okay, once you are finished, you click submit. Okay, just remind you of the calculator policy here, and then you will see a grade. Okay, as you're doing the problems on a test or on the final, some problems don't require work. It's just like reading a graph and answering a question or something, but others do. Like if you have to solve an equation or something, you'll be writing out your work on scratch paper. Try to do that in an organized fashion and label the problems. Like this is number 1, this is number 8, this is number 6, whatever, where I can find it, okay, and then I can go back and review your scratch paper for partial credit. My Math Lab will automatically grade each question. If there are multiple parts to a question, it will give you partial credit. For example, if a question has parts A, B, C, and D, and you get parts A and C correct, but B and D are wrong, you will get half credit. However, if there is just one blank to fill in and your answer is wrong in any way, even if it's a minor mistake, you will get 0 points. But once I look at your scratch paper, if I can see your steps and follow your work and notice that you made just a small error, then I can go back and adjust and give you partial credit for that problem. Okay, so that will be important. Okay, it talks about how that works down here under the asterisks. All right, the next assignment here is the final exam review, which is like a regular test review, but it's longer because it covers everything, so that's worth 10 points instead of 5. And the final exam, just a long test, basically. Okay, it covers everything for the whole semester. It's comprehensive. You have 2 hours to complete it, so a longer time frame, and again, it has to be done at the testing center. The deadline to complete the final exam is the last day of the summer semester, which is Thursday, July 28th. All right, this just talks about the partial credit that I explained a minute ago. Makeup and late work, you're expected to get all assignments done by their due dates. For homework, this does not include the test or the test reviews, but for homework assignments, you may complete those late, but you get a 15% deduction of your grade. So if you like started the whole assignment late, didn't get anything done on time, then the best you can do is 85%. All right, if you got half of it done on time, but the other half was late, then you could get, 90, whatever, depending on how many questions were done late. So the penalty only applies to any part or all of the assignment that is done after the due date. Those will all stay open through Wednesday the 27th. That's the deadline for submitting late homework to get partial credit. If you miss a test, you have to provide documentation of an excused absence. Being on vacation or out of town is not an excused absence. I'm not saying that I can't work with you around that if you have an issue, but that should try to be avoided. Okay, you are responsible for initiating the makeup process. Okay, do not email me on Monday after the test was due the previous Friday and say, oh, I was out of town last week, I need to take the test, because that's not going to happen. Okay, if you know you're going to be out of town and can't get the test done on time, you need to contact me early so we can talk about what your options are. If something comes up last minute, send me an email as soon as you are aware that you have a conflict, and we can discuss how to proceed. All right, at the end of the semester, if you miss one test, you can replace that with your score on the final. Any additional missed tests, you'll get a 0. In the summer, I only give 3 tests, so there's not very many. Hopefully you don't miss any. But if you do miss one of them for whatever reason, then your final exam can replace it at the end, so it doesn't have to be a 0 in the grade book. All right, that would also apply to a lowest test score. Any test score of your lowest of the 3, whether it's a 0 or not, if it's lower than what you get on the final, I'll replace that with whatever you get on the final. All right, participation in online and remote learning just means that your attendance or your participation in the course is measured by logging into Blackboard and My Math Lab and completing assignments. So if you go a period of 7 consecutive days without logging in to do any work, then you could get withdrawn. Okay, depending on the circumstances. So if that's going to be necessary for whatever reason, you need to communicate with me so we can avoid withdrawal. All right, in the summer though, we go so quickly that if you're not doing work for 7 consecutive days, you are likely way far behind. So keep that in mind. All right, most of these other things you can read on your own. And if you have any questions about them, let me know. They're just kind of informational. The COVID stuff in here is mostly from when we were dealing with issues back in the spring and the fall. Mainly as far as COVID is concerned, I would, since you're online, you're only coming on campus for testing, or to take your test. If you have tested positive or have any symptoms, you should not be on campus. And you should contact me. Okay, but otherwise it's probably not going to be a big issue. Same thing here. Pretty much just if you have any questions about what's listed here on those last few pages, let me know. All right, these are the instructions for getting signed up in My Math Lab. Okay, so you're going to go into Blackboard, all right, access this course, okay. Once you do that, you will come over here and click on the access code. All right, once you do that, you will find the materials for your math course. You might see other things listed other than your math class if you're taking other classes this semester that use Pearson products, but find the one that says College Algebra. Okay, and then this green button will be here that says Reveal Access Code. You're going to click on that, and you will copy that code. It'll give you an option to copy with your mouse, or you can write it down on paper. Okay, but you'll need to know what that is. Okay, then you're going to go back to the course page, okay, in Blackboard, into this course in Blackboard. This time, click on My Math Lab, and this will pop up. Okay, so once that pops up, you can click on any of these links, and you'll start the registration process. Okay, if you've never used Pearson with Blackboard before, you'll have to go through the user license agreement, click accept, okay, and then create an account if you don't have one, if you've never used Pearson, so follow those instructions. If you have used Pearson with Blackboard previously, you will skip step 6, okay? So that's only for people who've never used Pearson ever or have never used it integrated with Blackboard. All right, so once you get to step 7, you'll be your payment page. Remember, you're not paying for anything. Remember that access code that you copied? You're going to click on this access code over here on the left, and you're going to paste it in there, or you're going to type it in to the box, and then you should be ready to go. All right, if this doesn't work or you need help, you can contact me and I can try. Usually if it's a technical issue, you're going to have to contact Pearson, and here are their websites and their information. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you real quick kind of what that looks like before let's go through the rest of this first, and then I'll go back to Blackboard and kind of walk you through that part. All right, so here is the calendar for assignments and due dates. Okay. Please note you're encouraged to work ahead. Okay, all these due dates are no later than. Okay, that's the last day. Okay, doesn't mean wait till that day to do things. You don't have to come on that Friday to take the test. If you want to take the test prior to that, anytime at all, you're welcome to do so. All right, so work ahead if possible, especially on homework. Okay, you should be working throughout the week, just if you were in a face-to-face class. Don't wait till Friday to do all these assignments. Okay, because that's not ideal. Summer moves at a very fast pace. In a normal semester, these 4 assignments we would probably take 2 weeks for, or at least a week and a half. Okay, not 1 week. All right, so week number 1, we start Saturday, June 4th. So every week starts on a Saturday, ends on a Friday. Okay, except for our last week will end on Thursday because that's the last day of the semester. All right, so this first week, these 4 assignments are due. Those are all what can be found in my math lab, and they need to be submitted no later than Friday, June 10th. Okay, but if it were me, right, or my suggestion would be to start as early as possible. Okay, if not, if you don't want to work over the weekend, right, at least Monday. Okay, don't wait till Thursday or Friday to do all of this. Okay, but if you manage through, they're very doable to do, 1 section a day or so. Okay, and then that makes it seem a little less overwhelming. All right, or if you, like I said, if you want to work ahead, if you want to knock all this out before Wednesday and then get started on this next week before the end of the first week, go right ahead. All right, so notice every other week is a test, okay? So that's when you'll have to be on campus, okay? So this week, homework, then you wrap up this homework. Notice if there's a test due that week, the homework and the review is due Thursday instead of Friday because the test deadline is Friday, okay? All right, so then the following week is just homework again. Then you're gonna wrap up that part of that homework in the first half of the week or so, and then take that second test on or before Friday. And another week of homework, then the third test, all that stuff due Thursday, and then your test no later than Friday, and then finally the last 7th week is homework again, and then this last week is the only one where notice these things are due on Wednesday, and your final exam is due by Thursday. Okay? In terms of changing at discretion of instructor, if my math lab has an outage or something where they're not available for you to get in and do work for an extended period of time, I may alter some due dates, but otherwise this is not going to change. Okay? All right, so let's switch back over here to Blackboard, and let me show you real quick what these links do. So on those pages where I gave you instructions, when I click access code here, right, here's just one course. Okay, you may have others if you're signed up for other Pearson courses, but under the one that says college algebra, you're going to click reveal code. Okay, it's going to give you a code to copy. Either copy with your mouse and then paste it later into the screen that pops up eventually, or write it down on paper. Okay, then you're going to go back to your home page, which would be back here. Okay, this time you're going to go back to my math lab after you've gotten that code. Okay, you're going to click on any of these. Now, since I've already done this, I can't go through and show you what's going to pop up because mine's already integrated. Right, but you can click on any of these links and it'll start that process that's explained in the syllabus. Okay, so once you've gone through that, created your account, pasted your code into the access code and all that, then when you come back in here to do homework every time, when you log into Blackboard, you're going to click on this tab. This is going to pop up, right? If you just want to have a list of your assignments, you're going to click right there. And then there they are. Okay? So if I wanted to do homework for, say, section 1.5. Okay? And I was in here earlier kind of playing around, so I've already done the first one. But let's say here I wanted to do question 5. We'll just click on one of these. well, actually, let's go back and click on, we'll just start with question 2. So I already did question 1. Okay? All right, so it says use factoring to solve the equation. All right, so if you've gone through the lecture videos, taken notes, all that, you should have example in your notes similar that you can follow along with and, try to solve this problem. All right, if that's not helpful, if you can't find your the similar example or you're having trouble, there are help features built in here. You can click Help Me Solve This, and if you click that one, it will walk you through a step-by-step process of how to do this particular problem. But when you're done, you will not get credit for that problem because you had help. You'll have to do a similar problem on your own. Okay, this is the one most people use the most, is View an Example. This is the one you don't have access to on the review. Okay, because I want you to know how to do it without using the crutch of View an Example. But if you click on this, it will pop up a similar problem, and it will, if you click the continue as many times as it will allow, it will show you step by step how to do that problem. Okay? All right, so it's kind of like, okay, there's an example of showing you how to do the one I'm supposed to do. Okay, you can kind of follow through that, write it down, whatever you want to do. And then it shows you how the answer should be submitted. So notice here, over here, there's these set braces. It says use commas to separate answers as needed, etc. So it should look something like this, right? A number, comma, and then a number. Not x equals a number, okay? Just numbers separated with commas. That's it. All right, so we're going to close that out, okay? And then you can come over here and do this problem. So let me show you here. It gives you 3 tries to get an answer right before it finally says sorry. Okay, so I'm going to type in 3 wrong answers, okay, and then I'll show you what to do if that happens so you can still get credit for the problem. All right, so let's just say I type in 1 and 2, and I hit check. Okay, not right. All right, so I think, oh, I put a decimal point there, so maybe I needed a comma. Check. Still not right. All right, and then one more time. Completely. Notice it says final check. So this is my 3rd try. It says sorry, that's not it. That's what I put. My last attempt. This is the right answer. Okay, if I hit next question, it moves on and marks this wrong, so you get no points. However, if I hit similar question, notice it pops up a very similar problem that it gives me a chance to try to do. Okay? So then you can go through and see if you can figure that one out. So let's see here, what would this be? So if I have to solve this by factoring, I need to move everything over to one side, and let's see, negative sign. If I need a fraction, here's a template for the fraction. 7 over 4 and 9. Check. Okay, so I got it right. All right, so again, it would have given me 3 tries again, and I can do the similar question as many times as it takes, okay? But I get 3 tries per problem. So now it moves me on to question number 3, okay? And then I can just keep going from there. All right, so say I'm done. I'm going to hit save. All right, so notice here now it has a green check mark for questions 1 and 2. So when I come back to finish the rest, I can start here with question number 3. Okay? All right. So then that's, or you can just hit resume next time you come back in, and it'll take you back to where you left off. Okay? All right, so that is how homework works. Okay, if you want to get back out of that, just come back to here and then come back and click back on that tab, and it'll bring you back to your list. Okay? All right, let's see, what else? That view is just all of your assignments listed. This one right here will take you to the entire Pearson, like if you were logging in through My Math Lab. And then if you clicked that instead, you would have to come over here and click Assignments. And then you would get that same list. Okay, so either way. All right. Okay. So once you've gone through, you only need this access code once to get registered. After that, everything is found here. All right, we already talked about what's in here. You're going to do that first, right? Take your notes, watch your videos, Testing Center information links, Success Center, Scotty, and then My Grades. All right, if you have any questions about anything at all, if you have trouble getting started, please let me know. I will be happy to get you sorted out on all that. Ideally, you're registered and ready to get started in My Math Lab before, well, the class starts on Saturday. Okay, so if you don't see this before Saturday, hopefully by Monday. Otherwise, you're going to be a little bit behind. All right. I'm looking forward to a great semester. I hope you are too. And that's it.